Good evening, everyone. I'm Joe Gear, and welcome back to the Iona University News. Our men's basketball team got their season underway recently, sporting almost an entirely new roster. You'd imagine it hard for any team to find success so early in a season under these circumstances. And you'd be right. Despite some great efforts and competitive games, the Gales have not gotten the results they've wanted. They looked recently to change their misfortunes at home against Cornell. Luca Bagliani has more.
Thanks, Joe. Today, the Iona men's basketball team squared off against Cornell at the Hines Athletic Center.
The first half was a competitive game, with both the Gales and the Big Red getting their shots off. Iona's DeJour Reeves led the Gales to 12 first-half points. Also notable is Biggie Patterson with 9 first-half points, a couple offensive rebounds, and some nice hustle plays. Despite the play of those two, Iona trailed by 6 at the half, with their biggest problem being them unable to locate the Cornell shooters. In the second half, Cornell made the adjustments necessary to shut out the majority of the Iona offense, and with the Gales still unable to find the Cornell shooters, the lead grew to double digits and at one point was 20. Fans were seen leaving before the game ended, and overall the fan irritation grows during this 2-7 season. Iona fan Liam Scott detailed his frustrations with both the game and the season.
I thought it was a very, very competitive game. I mean, from the beginning, I knew that it was going to be a close game throughout. I felt like both teams were very, very tenacious on the defensive end, and I think that's always a good sign when you have two teams that are willing to play defense at a high level. That's really good. I feel like Iona came out very strong offensively, but obviously the team got the better of us, with 3 ball. I think it was just closing out, man. Cornell had a lot of elite level shooters, and they were just making every shot every time down the stretch. And I think that, when a team is hot and they're not missing, it's only a matter of time before the gap just continues to grow and grow.
While fans and spectators are frustrated with the Iona team's record, to some extent their record doesn't indicate their potential. A lot of games were close and down to the wire against good teams, so it's important to show out at home and to give our players the support they need.
Iona plays St. Peter's here at the Hines Athletic Center, Sunday, December 8th. Thanks. Back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Luca. Prior to that game, the Iona community held a special event out on Murphy Green. If you haven't heard by now, it's December, and that means it's time to spread some holiday cheer. All students were invited to a Galegate event with food and giveaways, but the real star attraction was the lighting of our very own Christmas tree. Jonathan Ferrer was on the scene.
Thanks, Joe. I am standing here above the Murphy Green where students and faculty gathered last night in preparation for the Galegate, the Christmas tree lighting, and the men's basketball game against Cornell. Christmas is a time of celebrations and prayer for families across the globe. The Galegate began with the lighting of the Christmas tree. Students, faculty, and even Santa made a surprise guest appearance for this event, which brought us some excitement. Moments after, we moved over to the upper level of the Murphy Green where we gathered for fun music and delicious meals which were provided by the school. At the conclusion of the Galegate, sophomore Mickey Asasefa shared his experiences during this activity. Let's hear what he had to say.
So I think the event was really great. The food was great. The music was good. I was there with my friends, so we just got to hang out before the game, and good way to set off Thanksgiving break.
As the Christmas season comes closer, with more Galegates and basketball events, the Iona community grows stronger, coming together, celebrating with one another. Thank you, Joe. Sending it back to you.
Appreciate it, Jonathan. The spread of holiday cheer on campus didn't stop there, as Iona also held a DIY workshop where students were able to relieve some stress from finals week. It was an event for the students to relax and enjoy some perks, crafting snow globes and ornaments for Christmas. Our own Lucas Quintana is live with more.
Thanks, Joe. What started off as a small event here at Iona has now turned into a big tradition. Students gather together to be with their community, their peers, but also to make snow globes and ornaments. And let me just say, this event has been nothing but magical. Today's workshop offers the perfect escape from the stress of finals. Hot chocolate and snacks set the mood as students craft enchanting snow globes and beautiful ornaments in a cozy, welcoming space. It's an event designed to inspire creativity and offer a break from the grind of finals. I spoke with one of the organizers to find out more about the inspiration behind this unique gathering.
What really inspired me to do this event and my team is that we wanted to create a more inclusive environment for Latin American students in our school. As a freshman, I felt like it was a very underrepresented community during my time. I feel like we've really created a very inclusive environment throughout the semester, and this being our closing event, I feel like really is going to close it off and bring excitement for next semester.
And as we see here, it's clear that students are loving the opportunity to enjoy the holiday spirit and be creative in their own way.
I love that my people, especially my Hispanic people, can come together and just celebrate each other throughout this holiday season, and just have a good time, laugh, enjoy each other's company.
It's getting us in the holiday spirit. It's our last week here at Iona before our long break. So it's really getting us in like the holiday vibe.
Whether it's the hot chocolate, the snow globes, the ornaments, or the snacks, students have come here to enjoy the holiday spirit and realize that there is more than finals week. This is a moment they can take back to stress. Reporting live from McGrath, Lucas Quintana.
Thanks, Lucas. This university has grown immensely in recent years and takes pride in bettering its students' futures by opening as many doors and opportunities for them as possible. Whether it's clubs, on-campus internships, or off-campus internships, there's plenty of places students can get their foot in the door and gain experience in their fields of interest. Elizabeth Riccio is a junior here who's really taken advantage of as many of these opportunities as possible. Lucas Quintana sat down with her to discuss how she believes these have helped her move closer to her future goals.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Recchio. I'm a junior at Iona University, and I am a media assistant for the media department. I am an intern for Fox News, a sideline reporter for ESPN, the social media chair for players, and the vice president of IUTV. I've always wanted to be a sideline reporter. I love football, I love hockey, I love basketball. Any one of those I'd love to be a sideline reporter for. I also love being behind the camera, so being a camera operator. I shadowed a lot of technical directors at Fox News. I absolutely loved that role. I thought it was a lot of fun, just punching in different camera angles, graphics, transitions, and all that fun stuff, I think was something I'd like to pursue. I've learned a ton here at Iona, both through the curriculum and through the opportunities that have been presented to me through the department. I've been working as a media assistant for Iona for the past 2 years. I've learned so much here, learned how to work camera equipment, run studios, both the TV studio and the podcast studio. I've also been given a lot of opportunities through that. Because I'm so involved with the media department, I was able to be on an admissions panel for that, where I was offered an internship by Bruce Beck, which was very cool. I got to be his assistant media director for his sports broadcasting camp this summer. It was an invaluable opportunity and I loved it. I also, through my media assistant position, was also given the opportunity to shoot videos for a book deal for one of our poli-sci professors. Her name's Dr. Zano, and she was able to get me an internship at Fox News, where I learned a ton there as well. Balancing my schedule has been kind of a skill that I've had to develop over my time. Especially with my Fox News internship, I had to wake up really early and I would go to sleep really late after doing schoolwork. The best thing that had me going through it was writing down a to-do list, writing down what classes I had every day, what things I had to get done, whether that's homework assignments, work assignments, or just what I was doing. That's how I managed it. My internships have prepared me for the real world in a multitude of ways. I got to see how a live production works from the ground up. I got to shadow a bunch of different roles, from technical directors to stage managers to audio people to lighting people and everything in between. It was a fantastic opportunity to learn how much effort goes into a live broadcast, and I also got to learn what it's like being a professional in the industry and being surrounded by people who are working towards the same goal. Networking is huge in the media industry. Who you know is how you get jobs. So that's why I said yes to the Bruce Beck internship. He has a ton of connections, and also I learned a ton of valuable insight on how the industry works. Also, meeting people at Fox. Fox is a huge corporation, it's not just news. So networking with people, with other interns who are going to be coming up in the world as I do is invaluable, and that's how you get jobs at the end of the day. The most rewarding experience I've had at my Fox News internship was being there for election rehearsals and election night. I got to be there and see this special production be put up from the ground up, seeing everyone come in and collaborate. A lot of people put it akin to their Super Bowl. It's what they were waiting for, what they were prepping for, and all their creative energy went into it. So it was really cool just seeing that collaborative effort. I also got to play one of the talent, as I got to sit and read from prompter, which was very cool. And then I got to be there on election night and stand there in that environment where people were just excited to be there and excited to make this production the best it can be. For anybody who wants to get in the media industry, I definitely think the best advice I have would be to get started. Get your hands on stuff, say yes to opportunities that come to you. Whether or not you like them, that doesn't really matter as long as you're getting the experience. So if you want to work in sports and you get an opportunity in news, fantastic, take the opportunity in news. There's a learning experience from that. So I think just saying yes to any and all opportunities that come your way is the best advice I could have. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to work in the media industry.
Elizabeth got involved early, but believe me, it's never too late to swing those doors open and jump right in. Joseph Ferrer, a graduate student pursuing his MBA in marketing, didn't involve himself on campus until his senior year, and he's had success just the same. Jonathan Ferrer spoke with Joe in the studio about his experiences as he approaches his final months at Iona. That on today's edition of Iona Night Live.
Good evening. Welcome to Iona Night Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Ferrer, and tonight I'm here with Joseph Ferrer. Joseph, thank you for your time today.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate
Of course. So the topic of today's interview is going to be about campus involvement. So just share some of the things that you do around campus.
Like right now?
Yes.
Okay, so right now I am a current graduate assistant, so I'm in the process of getting my MBA in the business school, in the Penta School of Business. But when I'm not doing that, I'm also a graduate assistant both in the marketing and communications department of Iona and the media and strategic communication department as well.
Nice. And share some of the things that you do with the Marcom department.
So with the marketing department, I started with them when I was a senior here at Iona during my undergraduate. And now in graduate school, I'm a grad assistant. So my main responsibilities are helping with their video content creation across all their different platforms. So that's both their website, TikTok, Instagram, other social media platforms, as well as more higher scale level things like broadcast TV commercial shoots.
And were you interested in that field before coming into your senior year, or?
Yes, so I during my undergraduate years here at Iona was a media and communications student with its focus on digital media. So I loved video creation, I loved making digital materials, I loved content creation. So I knew I wanted to do something with those skill sets, and they helped give me a platform to be able to see how I can apply those to a more professional level. And I've definitely grown a lot as a working professional and as just a person in general through them. Mm-hmm. So I love working with them.
Yes. You say them. Who would you say is one specific person that has helped you improve your skills in terms of like filmmaking, editing, processing, all of that?
Definitely my manager, Leah, at Marcom. She has been such a great influence for me because she's been able to kind of help direct me and my edits with where they need to go in order to tell the story that needs to be told. And it's become a great working relationship where I feel like I'm able to learn a lot from her, and we're able to collaborate together to put out what we need to do. So
Is it all the work that you do with Marcom? Is it all in a group setting, or is it more so of individual work?
Definitely collaborative. Like we have to work with a bunch of different departments and work with different people who are skilled in different areas, whether it be PR, whether it be the data analyst, or like the responsibilities behind getting everything set up on the website. So you're never siloed off and working only by yourself. Your work then impacts how other people are handling their work. So,
and what would you say would be the most difficult experience or project that you worked on while being in Marcom?
The most difficult, I can't think of one specific one, but I guess in terms of a general, the situations that I find usually the toughest are when we have to gather together a large group of people to film something in one environment. Just because managing people's schedules and finding a time that works for everybody while also doing the thing that you need to do when you have fewer hands with you together to help get it done can be pretty challenging. Most of the time we find that issue really happens during like commercial shoots or during times like now when students are really busy with finals, so it's hard to grab them to be like, hey, can you help us film a commercial for a few seconds? So I would say that those are the hardest, but they also help teach you to learn how to adapt on the fly.
Yes. And how difficult would you say it is for managing work between going for your master's degree and the Marcom department? How difficult is that?
It's definitely not easy. Like for the days that I have classes, I'm here from 9 a.m. to sometimes 10 o'clock or later. So it can definitely take a mental toll and a physical toll. But it's definitely helped me learn how to prioritize my time, how to manage what needs to get done in the allotted times I have between all of my different responsibilities. It's definitely a challenge, but I know it'll be worth it in the end, especially when I cross that finish line in May and have my MBA. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So when one person who is going to view this interview, what would you say for someone who is interested in working in digital media? Just one piece of advice.
Do anything and everything you can. You're never going to learn that you love to do something or don't like to do something unless you try. So don't limit yourself by thinking, oh, I can't do that yet because I don't have enough experience. Jump in, see where you can help out, see where you can just observe or learn, talk to people, find out what their experiences have been like working in the industry, or even just on a student level, working with something like WIUR or an IUTV, and gain and gather that knowledge, both from your co-workers or more so your peers and your students and other people that you're friends with, as well as like the working professionals like professors or other people that may come to the school to visit through career fairs and things like that as well. Definitely don't put yourself in a box either, thinking that you can only do one thing. Have an open mind and be willing to take on new skills.
All right, Joseph, thanks again for your time today. And this is Iona Night Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Ferrer. Sending it back to you, Joe.
Thanks, Jonathan. That wraps up today's Iona University news and our semester. We appreciate everyone for tuning in every week and wish each and every one of you a great winter break, a happy holiday, and a happy new year. For the last time this semester, I'm Joe Gearer. See you next year.